Yeah, so you guys are gonna be able to block out my voice and cover my face, right? I'm really worried about this information.
Oh yeah, you'll be completely anonymous.
Getting out. Yeah, I don't want my family in danger here. I don't want myself. You know, like I don't want the sugar company.
Hey Frank, do you want?
What's up guys, Coach Frank here at the Critical Bench Compound. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about, is it possible to build muscle without carbohydrates? Depending on where you fall in this camp, you may have bought into the belief that carbs are a primary or fundamental tool for muscle building, or maybe fall into a keto camp and you're like, yeah, this guy actually knows exactly what he's talking about and you don't need carbohydrates. So in this video, guys, I'm gonna share with you my thoughts, my opinions, and how I believe is the best way to maximize your training, maximize your muscle building without the use of carbs. And to help you guys in that process, because we're gonna talk a lot about the importance of protein here today, guys. So I wanna actually help you out in getting all the protein that you're gonna need. Because if you pull the carbs from your diet, you need to make sure that you're getting enough protein and getting enough fat. So we've had a massive supply of shaker cups here for the longest time, and it's almost becoming overwhelming. So I've decided that we're gonna give them away for free today. So if you click that link down there in the first pinned comment below, it's gonna take you to a page where you can get not only a free shaker cup, but this delicious anabolic protein smoothie recipe guide. So as we're talking about protein here, we're gonna help you make some delicious shakes, delicious protein smoothies guide. So click that link down there below, get a free shaker cup, Critical Bench logo right there, and a free delicious anabolic protein shake, 100% free and on me, guys. So talking about, is it possible to build muscle without carbs? And this is not a video on the ketogenic diet. It's not. And here's why. Because we're looking at optimizing our nutrition for muscle building. We're not looking to optimize our nutrition for getting into ketosis. You know, I see too many people that get dogmatic in their approach to nutrition. All they're worried about is peeing on a strip, and is that strip gonna give them a certain number that's gonna fall them into a category of ketosis. And that becomes their entire focus, their entire aim, almost as if they set being in ketosis up on this pedestal. And I think, for one, if your goal was to get in ketosis, that should be the proper approach. But if your goal is to build muscle, why would peeing on a strip that's gonna produce a bunch of numbers for you, that's gonna get you into ketosis, be something you need to be worried about? I think if you optimize your nutrition for muscle building, utilizing an approach that you're not using carbs, by default, by byproduct, you would end up in ketosis a vast majority of the time. But if you have a day or two that you're not in ketosis because maybe your protein was a little bit high, your fat was a little bit low, but you're still building muscle, then you're still achieving the goal. So just for one, this is not a ketogenic muscle building video. There are some great ones out there. We've had Danny Vega here at the compound before, so you can search the channel, look up some of his videos. So we're just really gonna talk about, is it possible, number one, to build muscle? And yes, it is. Myself is a great example. So up until 2018, I was a competitive bodybuilder. I was somebody that followed a traditional, balanced 40-30-30 approach. Sometimes our carbs would be a little bit higher, sometimes it'd be a little bit lower. And then in early 2019, I made a drastic decision and pivoted the direction that I was going with my life and training. I actually took about 8 months off of training completely. And in that 8 months, I lost a significant amount size, I lost a significant amount of muscle, I lost a significant amount of strength, but it was all done intentionally. And then here for the last 2.5, 3 years, I've followed almost 100% carnivore diet, cycling in and out for certain periods, but a carnivore diet is meat. It's a meat-based diet, meaning you only consume foods that the original source was an animal or some form of meat. And here I haven't gotten as big as I was because that's not my desire anymore, but I'm able to put in the last 2.5, 3 years, rough estimate, 25, 30 pounds of muscle back on. So I am a prime example that this approach can work. Now, is it going to be optimal for most people to fully maximize their muscle building potential without the use of carbs? Probably not. And when I say maximize your fullest potential, that's like, are you going to get stage ready? Are you going to get as big as you would need to be if you're competing in a bodybuilding show? But most of us walking around today, most of us that are going to the gym, most of us that are utilizing training as a way to benefit every other area of our life aren't concerned with maximum muscle growth. So it's going to be okay. But I also think that there's some great examples that if we look back over, a few decades ago to the golden era of bodybuilding, somebody like Vince Gironda proved that you could not only build an amazing physique, but you could help others. So Vince Gironda, if you guys don't know, was the trainer to the stars back in the 70s, back in early 80s. He trained guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane. Himself was recognized and known as having an amazing physique. And he was an advocate of steak, eggs, and heavy cream. And we shot some videos here recently, so search the channel, guys, where we talked about some of the old school training principles there as well. But Vince and the guys in the golden era have once again proven that this approach can be effective. Okay, now one thing that training without carbs is great for, and in my opinion, maybe one of the best diets to use, would be for body recomposition. And body recomposition is when you're building muscle and losing fat kind of simultaneously at the same time. So in this essence, you're looking at obviously a fat burning approach, but then you're using some of the building blocks, which is protein, to build maximum muscle. Now, if you want examples and you want guides as far as like how do I structure my meal plan, how do I actually put this into play, that would be where maybe you look at some keto, some keto diets. You look at maybe the carnivore approach. Once again, you don't need to become dogmatic about these things. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle, is because once again, is the goal building muscle or is the goal being in ketosis? If the goal is being in ketosis, then yes, you need to monitor your blood ketone levels. But if the goal is building muscle, once again, yes, we know that we can do it utilizing fats and protein. I do think that this is something that can be great paired with fasting, from blood sugar levels, from just meal timing standpoints, from a lot of great benefits that you get paired out of the two. But if you're going to go at this, guys, your macro level, you don't want a 50-50 split. So you don't want 50% protein, 50% carbs, or I'm sorry, 50% fat. Your fat intake needs to be a little bit higher. And this is just gonna be for health kind of sustaining points. Like it's gonna be for satiety. It's also gonna be for energy performance, cognitive performance as well. So probably starting somewhere at a 60-40 fat. Probably what you'll find yourself, because you're gonna need to play with these numbers a little bit, you're probably gonna lean more towards a 65 to 70% fat. But once again, this is not so concerned with getting into ketosis. So once you have your set macros, let's say your 2,500 calories is what you need per day, 9 grams of calories, or 9 grams of fat per calorie there, you would just adjust that. And like I said, aim for probably 60 to 65% of your calories coming from fat, and then the other 30 to 35% coming from protein. But yes, it is possible to build muscle. Myself has been a great example here. We've had a lot of great other coaches in here talking about some of the ketogenic approaches. Great for body recomposition. Not ideal for maximum muscle building, but I don't think that's any of our real goals here unless we're chasing becoming a professional bodybuilder. Great paired with fasting, and don't get dogmatic. If you have a day or two where you're not in ketosis, it's gonna be okay, as long as you're still making progress in what it is you're trying to accomplish. So hopefully this video is helpful for you guys. And like I told you at the beginning, we have a massive amount of these guys. I know hundreds, if not thousands of these sitting over there in the warehouse right now. So click that link down there in the pinned comment below. Free shaker cup, delicious protein, anabolic smoothie, recipe guide sent directly over to you. But Coach Frank at the Compound, I love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.